Never warranty your work. I repeat, never warranty your work. And I'm gonna give an example of what I mean. Now, when you do any kind of landscaping, I'm not talking about you do plumbing or something. Any kind of landscaping, do not give a warranty. And I'm gonna give you an example of what I mean. And this cost me this. I had to pay for this lesson to learn, right? Let me give you an example on what I mean. And I didn't start thinking like this in about 2-3 months ago. I'll say about 2 months ago, right? Now, here's the issue. The first problem I had with warrantying my work, had a guy reach out to me. He said, "Hey man, three of these Japanese yews you planted are browning out and dying." No, the first instance was a $200 palm. It was a $200 sago palm. So guy reached out. He said, "Hey man, this sago palm is browning out, it's dying." And this was like 2 months later. I said, "Well, have you been watering?" He said, "Yeah, I've been watering. Everything else over here is green." So I get over there, and sure enough, it was brown. It died. He said, "Man, it started browning about a few days after you left." I said, "Man, you should have called me. You should have called me. I could have seen what was going on, or took it back to the nursery. But you wait to 2 months. That cost me $200. Then I had another guy. I put in, I want to say about 10 Japanese yew plants. 3 of them died. 3 of them was browning out. And I asked him, I said, "Man, had you been watering them?" Yeah, been watering them. "Oh yeah, everything else looking good over here." So those were $150 a piece. Replace those. That was $450. Replace those. Now, I did this side job for this client. This right here is going into the 5th week. No, this right here is going into the 6th week. And I was skeptical about it because of the soil quality. So I tilled everything up real good, brought new soil in, and I told him, I said, "Look, I'm gonna go ahead and install it, but I'm not gonna send the invoice until 28 days later. I want to make sure everything takes. Because if it wouldn't have took, I'd have been like, oh well, it didn't take." So about 2 weeks ago was 28 days. Billed them, they paid. Get a text today, "Hey man, my sod is browning out." Now, when I installed it, I told them, "Hey, water it every day." Which I always do. Anytime I install sod, I always tell the client, water it every day for about 30 days. And they did. They watered every day, and everything was good. When I went back, because I maintained this property, I maintained. So this is a bi-weekly property. So I was like, man, everything looking good. Everything looking good. I'm the type of guy, I go back every 7 days to put my eyes on it. First 7 days, it was taken. 14 days, it was taken. 21 days, looking good. 28 days, all right, let me build them. And I told them, you don't have to water it every day. Just keep watering on it maybe every 2 or 3 days. Now, past 3 days, we've been getting rain. I hope they still wasn't watering it while it was raining. As you can see now, it's pouring down raining. It's going to pour down raining again Monday and Tuesday. So I thought, just stop watering it completely, because today is October the 5th. So this is kind of like the first week in October. Normally, 2nd, 3rd week in October, everything starts rolling over into dormancy. So, and I'm just headed over here to put my eyes on it, because when a job like this, I don't want to end my day. I don't want to not go look at it and put my eyes on it. I want to be able to go to sleep at night. I don't want to go to sleep at night thinking, I got to get over there first thing in the morning, see what's going on. No, I'm going to go look at it right now. Hey, this is what it's doing. We good, blah, 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 blah. And then, hey, I can sleep good tonight. Because I look at it, these guys, they paid me to do a quality job, and I assumed I gave them quality, which I did. The only thing I can think, I haven't even been over there to look at it. Y'all gonna see it as soon as I see it. She said it's browning out, which I'm thinking it's browning like, hey, we're fixing to roll over into that dormancy and season pretty much wrapping up. Because we've been in a drought down here for the past 2 months, but they have been watering their grass, so I know it should be fine. But I'm thinking, like, I know the outer edges might turn brown. The outer edge, because I sawed it up to a fence. I sawed it up to a fence, and then I sawed it up to a garden box. So I was already gonna know that the sod along that garden box is gonna probably brown out. And same thing with the edges along that iron fence. They're probably gonna brown out, which is fine because you're gonna keep that weed eating anyway. So I'm headed over here now to look at this, but I want to tell y'all, when it comes down to landscaping, do not warranty the work, because when I bring you a pallet of green sod, it's up to you if you let it die. And I remember, I want to say last year, this lady called me to come look at her property because a guy in my town had did 20 pallets of sod for her. And he put in irrigation as well. He put in irrigation, he put in 20 pallets of sod, and he put up 20 palm trees. He made some money on his job. I went and looked at it. Half of it was browning out. I said, ma'am, how often are you watering it? She said, well, he have the sprinkler system set to where it gets watered every day. I said, I'd rather not, because he told her, hey, I installed a sod, I'm not going to cut the grass. But he have a crew, maybe two. I know he got at least 2 crews, but he have a crew that cuts grass. I'm saying to myself, but it's going to be about $140, $150 cut. Why he don't want to cut the grass? That's what I'm thinking to myself. Why he don't want to cut the grass? And then what I did, because it needed to be cut. I said, ma'am, this is what I don't want to happen. I don't want to cut the grass. And then he say, oh yeah, the last guy cut it too short, or the last guy did this. I said, have him to come back, put his eyes on it, and then we can go from there if you want me to maintain it. So I remember the name of the company because I see the guy in town all the time. I study my competition. The guy just went and bought him a 2025 F250. He got one of them boats. They got 4 motors on the back, and he have 6 Mexicans working for him. So he's making good money. So I looked up his company. I looked up the reviews, and you know, you really can't go off of the reviews, but one couple was saying, yeah, we had this guy to do our work, and after he did the job, he went on vacation, and we couldn't get a hold of, like, he have a few negative reviews, right? Look, I'm the type of guy, I don't care about the money. I can always go make more money, but I can't get my reputation back. So I'm going over here and look at this. Like I said, I'm gonna bring y'all along with me. And these are nice people. These are nice people. And they're not, because I feel as though worst case scenario, and I'm gonna be honest, the type of guy I am. Worst case scenario, if it's something I did wrong on this property, yeah, I'm fixing to refund you. I'm gonna give you your money back. But hey, look, let me pull up, look at this property. I'm gonna bring y'all along. Now, as y'all can see, I inserted some pictures. I inserted the video and some pictures. I don't know if y'all can see those or not. I really don't know. I'm thinking they're probably going into dormancy. Maybe it's too early for that. Maybe I messed something up. What I did, y'all probably gonna see them other pictures after I make this full video. The area was mainly full of dirt because the trees wasn't allowed any grass to grow, but they trimmed the trees back. I went in there, I tilled the ground up, got all that dead stuff out of there, re-topsoiled it, and then I brought the sod in and they watered it. The first week, it was starting to, how that video looked, that's how I was looking after the first week. Then the second week, it was getting green. And then the third week, I threw some Milorganite on it, and then it took off. 4th week, it was pretty and green after that. And then now, it's I'm assuming it's going back to that state. I don't know. I think it's going into dormancy. I really don't know. I've done several sod jobs. I've never had, I take that back. I've done one other sod job where it done that, but it had done that in the middle of the summer. But within like 3 to 4 weeks, it was pretty and green again. And I think they was just putting too much water on it. But again, y'all drop down in the comments what y'all think it is. The last thing I'm fixing to do is resod that whole area. I don't really know. It's just one thing about sod, man. I've heard people having that problem, but when I say I've never had that problem, I've never had that problem. And it just baffles me because out of all the sod jobs I've done, I've never had that problem. But I've never done a sod job close to October either. All the sod jobs I've ever done has been in like April or May or June. I've never done a sod job in like the second week in September. And then October is right there. So I don't know. Y'all drop it down in the comments what y'all think.